when did you know you wanted to be a college athlete?
Oh gosh.
But growing up, I think everyone knew like Callie Flanagan is the tennis girl. High school record 124-3.
Yeah, high school.
You lost three. Wait, she lost 3 times. Cincinnati was in the American Conference.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And now they're in the Big 12.
Yeah.
How has that transition been?
Controversial opinion. I've really enjoyed all the like conference realignment recently.
Yeah, what do you think of pickleball? Because I've heard like tennis players are like some of them are against it, and some of them are like, I love playing it. So
yeah, I mean,
honestly, this podcast is about me failing, so I want to keep it positive and go back to Callie.
I think the last like main thing I really wanted to know about.
Okay.
I just lost my train of thought.
Oh my gosh,
that happens way too often.
I know you grew up with Alex, right? So did that ever happen to where it just like leaves?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Next Gen podcast. I am so excited for today's episode. I feel like it's been a minute since we filmed, and a minute since we've had a guest on. Last week we had, Vito on, but the most recent that we've filmed was just me and Easton talking. So this time we're actually talking to one of my first ever friends, which is crazy to say. But we're talking to Callie Flanagan, who is a current senior at Cincinnati playing women's tennis.
Cincinnati, the Bear. Is it Bearcats, right? It's Bearcats, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I just want to make sure because I don't want to mess up when we start.
You mess up a lot.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. I messed up. We already started like really strong by forgetting the pizza box at Johnny's Tavern today. So that's a big
I know. We were so ready. We had our lunch planned out for tomorrow, and I get back and we're in the middle of a sentence, and I'm literally like, he's talking business stuff, and I'm like, thinking about pizza. We do not have the box with us.
Yeah, but let's go ahead and welcome in Callie, because I feel like she's been waiting patiently about. We forgot a pizza, Callie. It's
no problem.
Total,
ruined my day.
8-10 problems, right? So
thanks for having me on, guys. So
no problem.
I used to listen to 8-10 with my dad a lot in the car, so this is really fun for me.
Right.
That's exactly the whole point. That's why I wanted to start up this podcast, is we're bringing in like the next gen of all of us who can say like my dad listened. And Easton, anytime that like I say I listened with my dad in the car in middle school when he drove us to school every day, Callie was with me. I don't think I ever mentioned that, but
really?
It was literally we carpooled every day.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So you guys
me and Alex have been friends for like probably as long as I can remember, like maybe before we were in kindergarten. Probably.
I think because we did preschool together.
Yeah, we did. So like oh my God, like 3 to 4 years old probably.
Back to the pre-K days.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I was really cool. I hit my peak in preschool, I think. So
no, same.
but we wanted to have you on to talk about your journey. And we've talked about my journey a lot on this show, but I know bits and pieces of it from the outside. Yeah. Easton obviously knows less. But when did you know you wanted to be a college athlete?
Oh, gosh. Really early. Like before people normally even know what college sports are. I had a really special childhood as far as like sports go. I'm the youngest of 3 by a lot. And my older sister and brother, they both were playing tennis like pretty competitively before I was even born. So when I was born, I definitely was put into tennis, like probably as soon as I could hold a racket in my hand. But I would say I knew that I wanted to play like competitive, like college tennis by like 3rd grade, which is really, really early, maybe earlier.
Right. I mean, how did you get into tennis? Like, how did your siblings get into tennis? Was that a family sport, or you just were like,
yeah, it actually wasn't at all. My parents never played tennis. So when they moved to Kansas City from Iowa, I would say they joined a country club like pretty early around the Kansas City area. And so my brother and sister were just put into tennis at the country club, and they both fell in love with it. And this was before I was even a thought. So I would say like I knew, like they knew I was going to play tennis before I was probably born.
Love that.
Awesome.
Love that.
Awesome. Like, so you grew up doing it. your whole life. I was introduced to tennis at a young age as well. Didn't go well. Tennis is such a hard sport. Looking at it, you're just trying to hit the ball. It's like baseball. Like you're just trying to hit the ball, put it in play. Tennis, you are aware of everything. You have to stay aware of everything. And it is such a tough sport. And I feel for the people that when people say, oh, tennis is easy, like, I'm just like, really? I don't think it is. Tennis is
Easton, I think that's your overall outlook from every sport you've played.
Golf.
I think, no, on this show specifically, E has said, like, I got kicked off of my football team. Yep. I wasn't good at basketball. Mm-hmm. I failed at being a baseball player. Right. Like, you're just struggling.
I struggled a lot. Yeah, I going back on that, I'm not the best at basketball. Football, I got cut from the youth football. Baseball, I was all right. In baseball. Defensive side was it, yeah. But honestly, this podcast isn't about me failing, so I want to keep it positive and go back to Callie. Callie. So,
struggling over there. Like, don't focus on me.
Now I'm just gonna just cry in the corner. But yeah, so you're going into Cincinnati. What made you want to pursue and go towards, I want to play college at Cincinnati? Like what stood out about Cincinnati?
Gosh, I mean, I started like recruiting for college, I would say like end of sophomore, like beginning of junior. Like I know a lot of other like college tennis players can attest, like when you are done with your sophomore year, that junior year of summer, you're traveling literally every weekend to play tennis tournaments, and all of them have college coaches watching you. So I would say I started like really talking to coaches that junior year summer. It's actually a funny story. The coach here at Cincinnati, that's still the head coach that recruited me, he used to be the head coach at Xavier a long time ago, and he recruited my older sister, and my older sister played at UConn in the Big East and often played against him in the Big East. So I kind of knew of this coach, and he was like really vocal about wanting me to come on a visit and stuff like that. So of course, like having that connection was really important, and he's the best. So I came on a visit here, and I would say the big wow factor is that when I fell in love with the school, it's so special when you can wear like the city on your chest. Like that's something that was really special about Cincinnati that I really loved. And the second would probably be like the people and the support that city gives you. Like not even just the athletic department. Like, yes, like they're really supportive of what we do here, whether it's like your strength coaches, like the assistant coach, head coach, like your team, just the athletic department in general. But I would say like we get a lot of support from the city of Cincinnati, and that was what drew me in. I love the city. I'm not from here, but I now consider myself like this is kind of like home. So that was really special. And I don't know about you guys, like you guys are also in the Big 12, and that wasn't on the plan for me. Like I wasn't recruited to be in the Big 12. So that's really been fun the past 2 years is joining the Big 12. And it's really transformed like my experience. Like we didn't have a lot of the stuff that we do now, and just the stage that we're on is like much bigger, and our travel is different. And that was been really fun for me.
That was going to be my next question, is the transition from, to Big 12. Because I believe Cincinnati was in the American Conference, and now they're in the Big 12. Yeah. How has that transition been? Has it been harder? Has it been like, has it been just easy, or how's it been?
Yeah, I would say it's been exciting. Like everybody on campus, it's different. I would say people like were excited to be on campus, and then it's times 10. Like when we joined the Big 12, the day of, like the year before we were even admitted to actually competing against Big 12 schools, there were billboards up in the city. Like people were hyped about it, which was like really cool. And just like, it's fun to like be on the up and coming and like be an underdog. And that's kind of what we were like, because it was hard. Big 12 is a serious conference, and there's some serious competition, not just with other sports, but specifically tennis. Like I would say it's the best conference for tennis in the country. And the most competitive. I mean, there's Oklahoma State was the number 1 ranked school the entire last year. And like Texas is insane. Like some of these schools like are ranked like probably within the top 10, and there's probably 5 of them for tennis. So it was really difficult. And I would say like it took some adjusting time to like get up to that level. But now that, it's our second year, like we kind of have some footing, and you just realize like how to compete at that level and find it within yourself, even though like you really didn't expect it. Like I was not recruited by any other Big 12 schools when I was in high school. Like, but you just learn like you have it within yourself, and you have to like elevate yourself to compete and to be successful.
That's so awesome. I love that.
That's, I think, a really fun, because I've grown up around Big 12 teams, and I know you've grown up like, following Big 12 teams. So now to say like you were, was there ever a time, both Brady and Shay played for UConn,
Yeah.
that you really wanted to go to UConn? Like that's a little bit of a transition.
I know. And they were pushing for it for sure. I would say my sister mostly, just because she spent all 4 of her years there, and so did her husband. Like they're a UConn family.
Right.
I love UConn as a school, and I had been there like to visit multiple times. The head coach is fantastic. Like he's a great guy. The girls on the team are always awesome. But I knew like I wanted to do my own thing and start a different journey for myself, and I knew it just wasn't there. Like I was like recruited by them, and like he was a great guy, the coach there, but I would just say like I knew like that wasn't going to be my journey. It was going to be somewhere else. And it's actually funny because when they were in the American, UConn and Cincinnati were like big rivals. So they were not very happy at first that I picked Cincinnati, but now they're like willing to like wear some gear and like cheer for me and the team. So now that we're not in the same conference, so it's funny.
It's kind of it's dialed down just a little bit. It's still there.
Yeah.
It's just dialed down just a little bit.
Controversial opinion. I've really enjoyed all the like conference realignment recently. Like OU in Texas to the SEC. I'm like, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Like I'm excited for some of these
changes. It's fun. Like
Mm-hmm.
for us, like in the American, like I don't know, the travel wasn't as fun. And like now, like we get to go to all these like big time schools, and now there's even more. Like we get to go down south to Arizona and Arizona State, and we get to go out west to like Utah and Colorado. Like that's so fun. Like for the student athletes and the coaches, like when we go on the road, like that's exciting, even more like than just being at home. So
what's your favorite place that you've gotten to visit to play in?
Oh gosh, this is a tough one. I had been there prior to college tennis, but in the American, Central Florida plays, well, now they're in the Big 12 too, but we haven't been down there since. They play at the like United States Tennis Association Center in Orlando. So it's a big deal. Like that place is where pro athletes train, pro junior tennis players play. So it's incredible facility. So that's been really fun. But I would say this past year, my favorite trip was Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State.
Yep.
Wow.
They have
because of the competition
or situation. Yeah. I mean, one, it was really neat just being able to say like, I'm playing the number 1 team in the country right now. And they have an incredible fan base that shows up for all sports there. Like it felt like I was playing in an arena, and we just like at Cincinnati, we get support, but it's just not it's not the same. Like they just have really like knit community, and it felt like I was playing like for like a very big like stake match.
Right, exactly. Cause it's like, so I went to Arkansas State, and when we went to play Oklahoma in football, I mean, the amount of people that are there for this type of game is crazy. So the support from these big name teams is crazy. And then so you're saying you're playing the number one ranked team in the country. How do you prepare yourself for that?
Yeah.
And how do you put yourself in that mindset? Oh man, I'm playing the number 1 team.
It's hard to like, because with the way college tennis works, like there's 6 girls out on the court for doubles and singles. And, there's a lineup, and there's like a top and a bottom. And it's special, like where I play in the lineup, to ever reach like someone that's ranked. Like that's just not really how it works. Like if I'm playing like the number 4 singles or the number like 2 or 3 doubles, like I'm usually not playing like the best players on the team. Like they're usually at the top, or I'm not playing someone who has like an ITA ranking or a collegiate ranking. I played a ranking probably top 20 doubles for my doubles match. And then I played, I think, a top 70 ranked singles player. at number 4 singles. So that means that there's 3 other girls in front of them playing singles that are ranked higher than like this 70 ranking. So I would say that it's like really just fun to be like, wow, I have like such a big opportunity. If I can get the upset here, like I might be able to be ranked. Like who knows what can happen.
Right.
I would say the best part about playing the number 1 team in the country is you have nothing to lose. So you can just go play and have fun.
Exactly. And
It was really neat too. Like Oklahoma State's not that far from like where me and Alex are from. So I had family travel and watch, which was neat.
awesome. So they came to support, and
Yeah.
I like that you are taking the underdog as like,
Yeah.
hey, like we're gonna go out and we're gonna play just how we do it, and pressure's on you, Oklahoma
Right.
State.
Like they have to beat us. Like, we have
Yeah,
nothing to
exactly,
lose.
exactly, and
Mhm.
I love that. I love that.
Mhm.
Hearing you as the underdog is a really weird thing for me. So like, okay, college level's different. You
Mhm.
have a lot more competition at your level. But growing up, I think everyone knew like Callie Flanagan is the tennis girl.
Yeah.
Like this is a great stat. I pulled this directly off of like a news article I found.
Oh
Mhm.
gosh.
High school
okay.
record 124-3.
Yeah. High
You
school is
lost
fun.
3. Wait, she lost 3 times.
And was that
She's the
remind
Michael
me, doubles,
Jordan of
senior,
tennis.
singles? Like how did
Yeah, so
you switched,
high school
right?
tennis, first of all, I loved playing high school tennis because I would say compared to other states, Kansas just wasn't that competitive. So yeah, I got to win a lot. And it was like, honestly, it was a break
Mhm.
from the real stuff during the year.
Mhm.
And I got to play with like people that I was friends with, like growing up, like that all played at my like around my area. It was honestly like fun to be playing high
Right.
school tennis compared to other parts of the year
Right.
where you're traveling and playing girls that are like maybe more competitive with you and it's like not as fun. But yeah, high school was
Holy cow.
really fun.
So you only lost 3 times. That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
like
Oh,
that's
yeah,
Michael
and I
Jordan
was saying,
status.
like, it is doubles or singles, so
Uh-huh.
the way it works is, like, obviously you play other teams and you're playing both doubles and singles, but, like, when you qualify for, like, a state tournament, you're either playing doubles or singles, there's no in between. So my freshman and sophomore year, I played doubles with 2 different teammates, and I won both of those times, an undefeated season, and then my junior year, I lost those 3 matches. So I played singles and I lost one at it was the state tournament and another tournament, but I won the regional tournament. And then in a dual match my junior year, I lost a doubles match, and then my senior year I went undefeated and won in singles.
So like if I were to play you, let's meet in the middle, like ping pong or pickleball. I feel like I give myself that sport. I'd give that's my sport. Ping pong, pickleball. That's my probably.
I don't know. I've seen her
kick
play
my-
ping pong
oh.
too. I don't
She
know.
would
No, me and
probably
my
beat me.
siblings used to be like, we used to have a ping pong table in our basement,
Mhm.
and like in the summer we would like have like practice against each other.
That's
It was
funny.
really competitive. But maybe I don't play that much pickleball.
She'd be the one
so-
that keeps beating me, and I'm like, let's play another. Let's go. Let's play another one. I want to play, and then it just
Yeah.
keeps. It's the same thing, like 11-0 every time. So
I don't
Dang,
know.
that's
I
crazy.
remember too many times where you would be doing like tennis drills and I'd be pretending to do them on the side, being like, yeah, I can bounce it once.
Yeah, I mean, it was like always my thing, and like I don't know, we were a big racket sport family, but even all of them. I mean, now like I love to play pickleball, but I would say tennis is still like my favorite thing to play.
Yeah, what do you think of pickleball? Because I've heard like tennis players are like some of them are against it, and some of them are like, I love playing it. So
yeah,
what
I
do
mean,
you think?
one, it's easier. Pickleball is
100%.
easier. So which is great because that means everybody can play it. Like anybody can play pickleball, which I think is like just really important in general, and I think it is like great for just like everyone's health. Like to be out playing a racket sport is really good for you. But I would say like tennis, like the reward is better in my opinion. Like when you can work and get better at tennis, like it's more
100%.
fun. But yeah, I think tennis deserves more attention than it gets compared to pickleball. But you know, I think it benefits both the sports equally at the same time.
Exactly. I love it.
Do you still, kind of going back to high school a little bit, keep in contact with any old coaches, teammates? Like what has that, and I know you said Cincinnati's become home, like
Mhm.
Will you still
Yeah.
come home and see those old friends home to Kansas City, like, over winter breaks and that kinda
Yeah.
thing?
Mhm. Absolutely. As far as high school goes, yeah, I don't talk to the high school head coach as much, but I see her occasionally and we're still very close. She coached both of my siblings too at Blue Valley North. So we have a lot of history with her and love her. As far as the girls go, a few of them played at my country club and like my junior tennis academy growing up at Blue Hills. And we're also very close. One of them, Christina O'Brien, she also went on to play college tennis. So we keep in touch a lot about it. As far as like other coaches go, I'm really close with the coaches at Blue Hills that trained me the rest of the year besides high school, well, and even during high school, but the rest of the year out of high school. So I'm really close with my coach. He's been my coach probably since I was like 8, maybe, and has coached me through like literally everything and probably the only reason why I'm good at tennis now. So,
I mean, I saw firsthand, but what does the commitment look like?
mhm.
Like, to what's a day in the life kind of, or, like, week in the life? Like, what's your time commitment? And, like, run us through the general, "This is how often I practice. This is
Yeah.
what I put into it."
Yeah, I mean, now in college, there's different, like, seasons, I guess you can be in. Tennis is all year round. I don't know who made the rule up that it's a spring season because we're in 20-hour weeks right now for the NCAA rules, so it really depends on, if we're in off season or not, but, it can be between, like, an 8-hour week of mandatory, that doesn't mean it's completely 8 hours, or 20-hour weeks, so, like, now we're in season for fall, and even though it's not like the normal dual spring matches, like we have tournaments, like we have one coming up this weekend. So we have one day off a week where we can't have anything. And then the other days it's probably a lift. And then we always have like a team practice, like sometime in the afternoon. So that's like usually from like 2 to 4. So about 2 hours. And then mixed in there, you got like a day of conditioning. So we got running like in the morning, another day lift, and then usually like an individual with yourself and the coach just to work on
Mhm.
just your stuff. So probably about 20 hours would
So
be
it
like the
sounds
week.
Yeah, so it sounds like you are doing a lot with that, and I mean, you're if I'm not being mistaken, you are a student athlete. So, like, how like, do you how do you, put time into, or what
Mhm.
advice would you give to a student athlete that's, like, struggling with,
Yeah.
doing all this stuff for athletics, but then also, they're kind of falling behind with the academic
Academics.
side of
Right.
things, so
It's hard, and I
Mhm.
luckily got really good at it before I even came to college, and I knew what was expected of me, gracefully by just looking at what my siblings went through and what they were like, "Hey, you're gonna need to ship up, like, your stuff, like, you're gonna
Right.
need to start doing this now," so and, like, me and Alex can attest, like, the high school we went to, even though it was a public high school, like, it was academically, like, rigorous.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
you had to keep up, like, if I like, in high school, I was prepared and I knew how to time manage myself really well and, like, get really organized, so I would say, take time, like, I know it's overwhelming, but take time sometime in your week to plan out, like, literally everything you're gonna need to do, and, like, when you're gonna be able to do that, and if you can't get certain stuff done, like, you get really good at, like, multitasking and, like, finding time where you can get multiple things done at a time. I would say it's easy for student athletes to, like, put other things on the side, and, like, just focus on, like, the academic and the athletic stuff, but, like, you need to sleep, like, you need to make sure, like, you're going to sleep, you need to eat, and you need to eat, like, nutritiously, like, and taking some time, like, after practice or after your day for, like, an hour to not do anything related, like, you need to have that time, and it's hard to balance that, but it's really what will keep you going and it's sustainable. So I would just say, like, really plan, really use your time wisely, don't
Right.
waste your time.
Awesome.
Talked about nutritious meals. You're studying nutrition
Yes,
or
I
something
am.
like that?
Nutrition and
Okay.
dietetics, yeah.
Okay, so what's your goal with that? Are you wanting to keep that on, like, an athletic side of, like, aiding athletes or just anyone? Like, what's your end
Mhm.
goal after college with all
Yeah,
that?
so I'm actually right now in the process of applying for graduate school. For dietetics, it's a 2-year program where you do like a year of school and then a year of like clinical. So I would say it's pretty similar to nursing as far as the profession goes. So, but my end goal is to become a registered dietitian, and where I work, I still don't want to know. I think having experience as an athlete is helpful when treating other athletes. But I do have interest otherwise. Like I worked at the Children's Hospital here in Cincinnati 2 summers ago, and that was really fun. And it's like a great hospital, and I can see myself working there like in the future. But I would say maybe in sports, but I think just using my knowledge of how, physical activity in sports affects health is just, I can be used anywhere, even if it's not in sports.
So
Yeah,
you're,
for sure.
are your teammates are you giving your teammates advice for
Yeah,
like what to do?
we have
they're
dietitians that work with the teams here, but in case they're unavailable, they usually just ask me, which is fine, but I'm not a professional yet, so sometimes I don't have all the
One
answers,
day.
but
yeah,
yeah, they
that's awesome.
definitely I like to cook too, so they definitely ask me for a lot of stuff like that.
That's cool.
Mhm.
What kind of outside of tennis like required team bonding stuff have you guys done together? Like, are you all roommates? How have you gotten close with the team? Off
Yeah.
the court?
So my coach, the way that he does it when we come as freshmen is you live with the other tennis players. And not all coaches believe in that philosophy, but for me, it was like a really great thing because I didn't know anybody else here. And the tennis team it's special in the way that it's really small. Right now, like on our team, we only have 8 girls, but it can range from like 8 to 11, I would say, is the normal size team. And so those really become like your sisters. You're around each other all the time. You spend literally so much time together, especially when you're traveling. Like you're living together, you're rooming together on the road, and everything in between. So I would say it's just really special to have like a small team because we get to be with each other all the time anyway. So I would say that's the kind of team bonding that we get, but we all hang out with each other just because we are all like best friends. So that's really something I think that's special with my team specifically is that we're all really close. So whether it's like going to get coffee one morning after lift or something, like we always are with each other.
I think the last like main thing I really wanted to know about,
Oh
I
god.
just lost my train of thought.
Oh my gosh.
That happens way
it's
too
so
often.
I know
That's
you grew up with
embarrassing.
Alex, right? So did
Yeah.
that ever happen to where it just like leaves? Like it just goes by. It just
Me and Alex have spent so much time together, like growing up. So I'm surprised, like it's all very familiar, probably for her listening to me talk too. Like
'cause
we were
I
at each
literally
other's
was
house,
she was
like
like
literally all the time.
she's like gonna say something and it's just like nothing comes out. But
Do
I'll
that
save us
all the
here though.
time.
So you're Cincinnati, right? And we have to ask. I'm sorry. Have
Oh,
you
that's
seen?
what it was about.
Would you like to say Jesus?
Yes,
she
I
like
would.
screamed in my ear.
Sorry. I'm very excited.
I'm gonna adjust the audio on that one just to kind of save the people's ears. But
He's
go
gonna
ahead,
mute
Alex.
me.
Go ahead, Alex.
Are the Kelsey brothers ever around?
I wish I saw them more, but no, I haven't seen
Wow.
them in person. I feel like if they do come, it's probably in secret. They did have the New Heights like live show last year, which was amazing. Of course, we were out of town for a match that weekend, so we didn't get to go, but it was so fun to see like their involvement back here. I know like outside of the athletic training room, like for the football, there's like 2 statues of them. So they're like really important here.
Oh,
And
that's so cool.
it's special, yeah, like, being a Chiefs fan too, like, I love Travis Kelce. We all love
Mhm.
Travis Kelce, so it's,
Right.
like, a double thing for me that I get to have both the schools.
Did you see yesterday Travis and Taylor went to the US Open
Yes.
and I saw ESPN was posting something about like they can do multiple things. What do you think that celebrities like that, athletes like that, giving attention to tennis will do for the
Yeah.
general, just tennis getting more
Right.
attention?
Mhm. So much. I mean, especially, like, this US Open this year was really special. We had 2 Americans in the men's and women's final. So that was really cool just to see, like, other sports showing up for tennis. Tennis gets put on the back burner a little bit, but, like, when it is so special, and when people really, like, tap into it, it's, like, it's gonna change your life, I would say. So seeing other, like, big time athletes support even celebrities supporting tennis is important for the sport.
I mean,
And it
the
hopefully
biggest
gets people more involved in the sport, more people wanna play it.
the biggest like celebrity, Taylor Swift, was at the US Open. Like that's gonna,
that's a lot.
I mean, I catch myself, watching tennis, but like this one, I was like so involved in because like I was like, if Travis Kelce's there, I'm gonna do what Travis Kelce is doing.
Right.
Like I want to be like Kelce. Like I gotta watch this. So
I mean, people love him because he's like an amazing football player and personality. And I would just say, like, watching football, like I love watching his athleticness. But go ahead and watch tennis. Like these are amazing athletes. Watching professionals play is like one of my favorite things because I can't do what they do, but watching them is so fun. It's amazing how they move, how they play. So the more people that watches tennis, the better.
I catch myself like biting my nails when I watch tennis sometimes. Like I'm just like,
you know what? It's funny you say that. I get more nervous watching tennis than I do playing it. I don't know what it is, but
that like makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. I would much rather be out there on the court, like, because I just don't think that you register like how nervous you are. But when I watch my teammates, oh my God, I'm literally a mess.
At this point, you're probably, it's muscle memory. It's like your brain just like goes into autopilot kind of thing.
It was definitely like in a different level coming to college. But like now that it's my 4th year, it's like, man, I played a lot of tennis. Like I should be good.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, as we wrap up, we do a little thing with everyone where we have a list of questions. It's like gut check answers.
Okay.
Give me the first thing you think of. Okay. Let me pull them up. Okay. What is your all-time favorite team? Like number one thing you're putting on the TV if you're watching sports?
Kansas City Chiefs.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Perfect.
What do you think? What did you think of the game yesterday? Was it good? Was it up to your standard? Were you biting your nails like I was as well? Or
yeah, I didn't get to watch the end of it, which was probably the best part because we had early morning like lift the next day, so I chose to sleep. But it looked good in the beginning in the first half, so that's all I'm happy with.
Second half, of course.
We used to be so bad. I'm just happy that we're good now.
Yeah,
exactly. It's entertaining now.
We're on the rise.
Okay, next one. What is your lucky jersey number? I don't think tennis does.
Yeah, we don't have numbers, but I would say like before a match, I always eat a banana. I always have like the same like liquid IV flavor on court. And I always wear like the same hairstyle and necklaces. So I would just say that's like routine for me.
Yeah, I love to hear all the superstitions.
Oh my God, I probably have so many that I don't even like register. But like the way that you go about yourself on court is all like I've literally like growing up, my coach would have me write down exactly what you're gonna do like before a return, before a serve. Like I bounced the ball 3 times. I bounce like before.
I was gonna say I remember the bounce ball
4 times. Yeah, it's all just in my head, but I have many.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, who in sports, if you ever got to meet them, would you fangirl over? Would it be a tennis player? Would it just be a general like football player?
I would say Maria Sharapova. She was like my favorite tennis player growing up watching her. I don't know if you remember, Alex, I used to dress up as her for show and tell and stuff. And like the tennis dresses. And she was like my first racket. So I had the pink Maria Sharapova racket when I was little. So it would probably be her.
That's
awesome.
Do
you remember who you dressed up for Wax Museum?
Yeah, Princess Diana.
Okay. I was gonna say
I remember that.
I did Alex Morgan.
Yeah.
And I just saw she retired and I was like,
oh my God, what a memory
too.
Yeah. No, I didn't pick a tennis player, but yeah, I probably should.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That's when I thought I was gonna be a big soccer star, and that lasted really.
Me and Alex used to play in the same soccer team, so that used to be really fun.
Well, with your jersey number, that's why I was like, I was number 2, and I thought
think I was always like
Geiger
5 or something weird.
Okay.
I don't really have a lucky
like you and Gabby were 1, 2, and 3. So
wait, that's actually so funny.
Trip down memory lane. That's so awesome.
I've been doing so many trips down memory lane recently. We're moving.
Speaking of Gabby, it was actually so funny. Last year we played at Oklahoma where she attends college and she came to watch, which was really fun. I know.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Her for a little bit. It was really
sweet. Do a little like
I know. Whenever I'm back.
For sure. We'll plan that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Last other couple of questions. If you weren't playing tennis, what would you play?
Oh, gosh. I think when I was little, I would have picked soccer. I loved soccer. I played it till like 8th grade, even though after that, my coach was like, you can't get injured from this for tennis. Like, you need to stop. Now, I think I would be good at volleyball just with like reaction time stuff.
Awesome.
But yeah, honestly, I don't know what I would be doing if it wasn't tennis, though.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
You were tennis girl. Like
Yeah.
everyone knew it. Okay. I think that's all that we have time for today.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you so much. This was
No,
like
thank
for
you
me
guys.
when we were
Thank you.
trying to figure out interviews. I was like, of course I'm gonna have Blue Valley North athletes I can talk to.
Mhm.
This one I know is gonna be well spoken and
Mhm.
compared like we're interviewing Isaac Patterson tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, he's
Shame on
perfect
him.
for this. Yeah.
He's adorable, but I'm like, are you gonna know how to put sentences together? You
He's
know?
gonna be
Oh gosh.
And then for me, yeah, the trips down memory lane. This was what I was really excited for. So just
yeah.
thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and
Yeah.
school and practices and making this work. You have any last words?
No, I think I'm good. Honestly, you guys carried the episode. Callie, you did awesome. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you. Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah. Everyone follow Callie Flanagan on Instagram, and we'll see you next week.